Look, as you all know, I'm sure China is more than half of global copper demand, and I think that we started the year with overly high expectations for a big resurgence in demand as China reopened. And I think that played out really nicely for the consumer sector, but not so much for metals demand. So that's one piece of it. The other piece is I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there is a longer term bull case for copper with EV adoption and grid updates, but that doesn't necessarily translate to a short-term positive story as we become more concerned about short-term demand weakness.
When you say a longer-term bull case, is that again based entirely on what we expect to come out of China, or is there more to it?
No, the longer-term bull case is just a broader EV adoption story, broader grid update imperative, if you will. And I think it's really clear that if we head into the second half of this decade, so definitely a longer-term story, the copper case becomes quite interesting. There's not as many new mines starting up, and certainly EV adoption should grow. EVs for now still consume quite a bit of copper. Grid updates will require a lot of copper, obviously, and so that becomes really compelling. But I think that it's become increasingly obvious that in the short term, those aren't necessarily the same catalysts I think that the market was hoping for. So it's a timing problem, and I think expectations got a little ahead of themselves to start 2023.
Where is the invisible hand in all of this then, Timna? If there is this long-term bull case and the market has perfect information, those mines should be starting up right now, getting ready to provide the supply that that new market is going to need.
Well, I think it's 6 to 8 years to start a new mine, to start a brownfield mine, and to expand existing mine capacity. Certainly that can happen much more quickly, right? And just the logic of the necessity of the demand around the corner doesn't necessarily align with government imperatives, protests, and the geology, right? So there's a bit of a mismatch there, we think, into the second half of the decade. But I think, like I said, there's also an awareness that some of the bull case is not going to happen or materialize in the short term, right? The EV adoption story is later decade. The grid updates take years, obviously, to materialize. In the interim, there is actually quite a bit of copper coming to market. So again, I think we started the year with a lot of high hopes with the longer term story in focus and lost sight of the fact that higher interest rates, Fed and elsewhere, certainly are negative usually for metals demand, right, broadly speaking. And again, you can't ignore China, right, with China's demand looking a bit more wobbly than was hoped. The property sector is a crucial demand story for China. And that doesn't look like it's getting the same stimulus that we've seen in the past. Those all kind of fit into the bull case for now in copper.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.